I think it's helpful just knowing that you don't always have to cut out these foods, and oftentimes you probably shouldn't. You should just instead replace them with something different, because you want to be able to enjoy the foods that you want to eat without having the restriction or the mentality of a diet, which always comes back to haunt us. So if you have some sort of realization that you're eating a lot of carbs and you're getting a lot of cravings and you feel like you're not doing amazing with being able to control the food you're putting in your body, you need to take some time and just step away from these processed, inauthentic foods, and you need to implement organic foods. And if you take this approach from rather than cutting and restricting yourself, you go from the bottom up, adding in more of these quality foods. By doing that, naturally as a byproduct, these poor quality options start to fade out. And all you need is just one day of doing this to notice the benefits, simply replacing these options with something better and just see how you feel. And the easiest thing to do with this is you can, literally just plug and play, right? So like, okay, this food I didn't feel great from, I'm going to try this one instead. It's a better option. And I think it's super important to know that, because if you're constantly giving your body the sugar, you're eating a lot of carbs throughout the day, because again, you can still be eating, you could be eating fruit all day, for example, and still be having these cravings just because the fruit breaks down the sugar as well. What I think has worked best for me and others is, not cutting out foods, but just adding more of the quality foods. And then as you do that more and more, you notice that you actually have less cravings for the junk food, and you can actually regulate your hormones. And after a day, 2 days, energy levels come back, right? Like your blood sugar is on point and nice and stable, which is how we want it. And because of that, stress is more consistent. You're not spiking your stress all over the place. You're not going to be gaining and storing fat as you would if, you're just eating carbs all the time, right? So if you can make these couple tweaks, then you're going to get to a point where you feel like, okay, I actually don't have an issue with overeating. I just have an issue with eating the wrong quality foods, which act as trigger foods, which in a domino effect start to knock down one after another in the wrong direction. So you eat that first food of the day, boom, it doesn't give you many nutrients, it doesn't keep you sustained. An hour, 2 hours goes by, you want something else again. You're hungry per se, but maybe you're not actually hungry. Maybe your body and your brain are just craving and searching for more sugar. But maybe these simple things are what's causing you to eat more of these less quality foods, because your body is craving the sugar from the carbohydrates. So you're going to continue looking towards that. And the one thing that really helps me personally is if I have a lot of cravings, if I have a lot of sugar cravings and I'm like, I need some sort of like good quality food right now, what I like to do is just eat the protein meal first and then say, let me think this through afterwards. Every single time that I eat a burger or a steak or chicken or fish or anything that's healthy, that has a lot of protein in there, I never have that craving afterwards. The nice part is protein has a satiating effect on the body, right? So the more protein you give your body, the less likely you're going to have these cravings. I talked about this in a couple of recent videos. If instead of worrying about removing all the bad, you can just focus on giving more of yourself the good, naturally the bad starts to subside, and you notice that you're losing water weight, you're getting leaner amidst all the other benefits. Because I think the most important thing when it comes to removing these inauthentic carb sources, not that you're going to look better and feel better per se, that's going to be part of it for sure. You're going to drop some water weight, you're going to get leaner. Also, your gut health is going to improve, your skin is going to improve, all these things, and actually think clearly. So if you're somebody that feels like you cannot control your eating at times, just know that I've been there personally. I've struggled with these sorts of things. And me personally doing keto and doing low carb led to me, falling into these restrictive approaches where I bounced back and I overate and I started to binge eat for a while. And it's just not a healthy thing that you want to do with your life. And so after countless years of doing this, I realized that I need to make some adjustments if I want to enjoy the life I want. And remember that you have the perception as to how this affects you. So you making these changes doesn't have to be something that sucks, that is hard, and that makes you feel like crap. Like it could be something that genuinely you look forward to because you realize after just a couple of days of doing it that you feel so much better and you actually prefer to eat these foods. And once you get to that point, you're in a good spot because you are literally looking forward to doing the right things for your goals. You spent a couple of days, you've taken this period of time to understand what foods work best for you and what don't. And now you can reassess and you can live your life without having this restriction of carbs pulling you in every which direction. So just give it a day, give it 2 days, give it maybe 3 days, see how you feel by making these adjustments, then reassess. And I can almost guarantee you, you're going to never want to eat these foods again. And if you do, great, but you're going to want to base your nutrition around these quality whole food options. You're going to notice the benefits start coming faster than you can imagine.